more warnings, compounds for those attempting interstate travel. Abandoned boat found off Muar with 250,000 ringgit drugs on board. Thanks for joining us here on News on 2. I'm Brendan Lipol. Now, motorists trying their luck to attempt interstate travel to Balik Kampung will not only be asked to turn back by the police, but will also be issued a compound notice on the spot. Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the National Security Council, MKN, has decided that the police can issue a compound notice to vehicles that were asked to turn back when stopped at roadblocks. Some 2,412 vehicles tried to cross state borders yesterday. Commenting further on the matter, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said despite repeated warnings, the insistence of the people trying to return to their hometowns did not change. He said that last night, 1,300 tried their luck and queued up at the Kuantan police station in Pahang to apply to travel between states. The senior minister added that due to the high number of people attempting to cross state borders in the last few days, police will issue compounds on the spot at roadblocks.
Jadi kita benar-benar mahu supaya rakyat sedar kerajaan benar-benar serius untuk tidak membenarkan kes rentas negeri ini berlaku. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, semua sudah baca di dalam media bahawa akibat rentas negeri, semalam kita baca satu perempuan didapati positif apabila sampai ke kampung setelah merentas negeri. Sebab itu kita tidak ada kompromi lagi. Tidak ada bertolak ansur lagi.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri noted that those who manage to sneak through back roads will not get away scot-free. He said police will still be able to find them when they return to the federal capital. He said that only in emergency situations, such as a death in the family, will be granted for interstate travel. Non-Muslim houses of worship in COVID-19 green zones only are allowed to reopen beginning the 10th of June. Senior Minister Security Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob during his daily press meet, however, said they have to comply with the standard operating procedures SOPs set and agreed upon by the representatives of religious bodies. Among others, the SOPs include barring the elderly and children below the age of 12 from entering the premises and allowing only a maximum of 30 people at a time, that too depending on the size of the house of worship. According to the minister, if a house of worship is small and cannot accommodate 30 people, then the number of people attending should be lesser. The houses of worship are only allowed to be open on important days according to their respective religions.
Kebenaran ini hanya berdasarkan hari-hari yang penting. Hari-hari yang utama bagi agama masing-masing. Sebagai contoh, agama Kristian, hari Ahad, mereka ke gereja hari Ahad, maka hari Ahad saja yang dibenarkan. Ada gereja agama Hindu mungkin ada hari tertentu. Agama Buddha mungkin ada hari tertentu, satu hari dalam seminggu yang mereka perlu pergi.
However, the minister added that permission is only given to Malaysian citizens while non-Malaysians are not allowed. Every congregant must undergo body temperature screening, wear face masks and use hand sanitizers. As of now, the government has given approval to 174 houses of worship throughout the nation. They comprises 84 Hindu temples, 15 Chinese temples, 67 churches, 8 gurdwaras. Meanwhile, the minister also added that weddings and houses of worship are still not allowed. On another note, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said the government is looking at proposed SOPs submitted by the Malaysian Hairdressers Associations to allow barbers and hairstylists to operate. He said the Health Ministry and the National Security Council are currently scrutinizing the proposed SOPs for these services.
Kedai gunting rambut ni bukan, dia ada berbagai-bagai kategori. Ada kategori yang di shopping kompleks tu yang mahal tu, Dan ada juga yang selalu saya gunakan, kedai mamak gunting rambut ni. RM3 bayar, RM5 je ni. Jadi yang itu pun ada. Jadi SOP tu yang kita yang nak kita perketatkan.
However, the minister did not provide a time frame as to when a decision will be reached, adding that an announcement will be made on this as soon as a decision has been reached.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Malaysia has recorded another 50 new positive COVID-19 cases, bringing its total to 7,059. In its daily COVID-19 briefing today, Health Director General Dato Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said there have also been 90 recoveries and 0 death case reported in the last 24 hours. Dr. Noor Hisham noted that the total number of patients who have made a full recovery from COVID-19 now stands at 5,796, or 82.1% of the total number of cases.
Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia ingin memaklumkan bahawa terdapat 90 kes yang telah pulih dan dibenarkan discharge pada hari ini. Ini menjadikan jumlah kumulatif kes yang telah pulih sepenuhnya daripada jangkitan COVID-19 dan telah discharge berward adalah sebanyak 5,796 kes, iaitu bersamaan dengan 82.1%. Dimaklumkan bahawa tiada kes kematian berkaitan dengan COVID-19 setakat ini. Justru jumlah kumulatif kes kematian COVID-19 di Malaysia kekal sebanyak 114 kes, iaitu bersamaan dengan 1.61% daripada jumlah keseluruhan kes.
Dr. Noor Hisham also said that of the new cases detected today, there were 3 imported cases and 6 local transmissions. He added that as of now, there are 1,149 active cases, where 10 cases are being treated in the intensive care unit ICU. From that number, 7 cases require the use of ventilators. A child who was travelling back to Sabah with family members became the latest COVID-19 case in the state. Sabah Health Department JKNS Director Datuk Dr. Christina Rundi said the case was detected from samples taken at the Kota Kinabalu International Airport upon arrival from Kuala Lumpur. In a release statement, Dr. Christina said the patient has been admitted to the Likas Women and Children's Hospital for further treatment. To date, Sabah has a cumulative 338 cases with 30 people still receiving treatment. As for the Jom Balik program for students of higher learning institutes, which resumed yesterday, Dr. Christina extended her gratitude to relevant ministries for helping to prevent the spread of the infection. Among efforts taken include to ensure all students undergo COVID-19 sampling tests before being allowed to return. It was reported that Sabah government was expected to bring home 1,027 students yesterday and another 906 today. Meanwhile, Sabah Education and Innovation Minister Dr. Yusof Yaakob said the state government is spending 2.7 million ringgit to bring back students on chartered flights. The decision on whether Malaysians are allowed to perform the Hajj this year will be announced after Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Minister, the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri said Malaysia was still waiting for the official announcement from Saudi Arabia before making a decision on the matter. Elaborating further on the matter, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said the ministry's response will depend on the statement by Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. The minister said this after witnessing the handing over ceremony of contributions from CIMB Islamic Bank to Yayasan Dakwah Islamiyah Malaysia, Yadim, in Putrajaya today. At the event, CIMB Islamic Bank was represented by its Chief Executive Officer Ahmad Shahriman Muhammad Sharif, who presented 150,000 ringgit in cash to Yadim, which was represented by its president Nik Abdul Aziz. Nik Omar said the contributions from CIMB Islamic Bank was for Yadim's Peduli Musaadah COVID-19 program and will be distributed to the poor, B40 group, frontliners and those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, including special groups such as the Tabligh cluster and undergraduates. With Aidilfitri in just a few days, the Malaysian Health Coalition, MHC, is urging that the public celebrate it with the new normal. In a statement issued today, the MHC said the traditions of travelling back to the hometowns, open houses and visitings have to be sacrificed while constantly observing social distancing. At the same time, the MHC is urging the public to celebrate with only the members of their households, to take precautions if they want to perform the congregational prayers at the mosque and to support their communities. The statement also said that social distancing must be practiced to protect the elderly and those with health issues, and at the same time, it is also encouraged to avoid the practice of customary handshakes to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus in the country. MHC added that the people are urged to continue taking preventive measures when carrying out their religious obligations so as to protect everyone's health. The MHC also urged members of the public to continue supporting each other and foster the Muhibah spirit. It was a light moment at the High Court today when it was told of a tale of nasi goreng, as former One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB Chief Executive Officer CEO, tried to describe the reason why he trusted fugitive businessman Low Teck Jo, or Jolo, and the latter's close relationship with Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak. Datuk Shahrul Azral Ibrahim Halmi, 50, said he was quite well known for his ability to make the best nasi goreng, and he had prepared the dish for Jolo before. He said Jolo had asked him if he could bring some for Datuk Sri Najib, and he made him some to give to the former Premier. He later gave feedback that Datuk Sri liked the nasi goreng, but Datuk Shahrul Azral said he never get the chance to ask Datuk Sri Najib personally. The 9 prosecution witness said this during cross-examination by Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, representing Datuk Sri Najib, who is facing corruption and money laundering charges involving 2.3 billion ringgit of 1MDB funds. Datuk Shahrul Azral, who was 1MDB CEO from 2009 until 2013, said that was one of the events that gave him comfort knowing that Jolo had access to Datuk Sri Najib's home at any time. Earlier, Datuk Shahrul Azral also said neither the management or the 1MDB Board of Directors had seen the financial documents or audited account of Petro Saudi Oil Services Limited after 1MDB's stakes acquisition from the company in early 2012. The trial before Justice Colin Lawrence Sequeira continues on the 4th of June. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, discovered 250,000 ringgit worth of drugs inside a small boat found abandoned near Parit Java. Johor MMEA Maritime Operations Deputy Director Captain Sanifa Yusof said an enforcement team on patrol found a small boat approximately 0.4 nautical miles southeast of Parit Java at around 5:30 p.m. yesterday. He said checks of the abandoned boat found 5 plastic packages of Chinese tea hidden inside the boat's petrol container, and further inspection found that the packages contain a crystal powder believed to be shabu.
Namun penjenayah telah meninggalkan bot berkaitan ketika gerakan pemintasan dilakukan pada petang semalam. Kita percaya terdapat tonton laut yang menyalurkan maklumat kepada dalang.
He added at a press conference held at Johor MMEA headquarters in Johor Bahru today that each package weighed about 1 kilogram and that the street price for shabu is around 50,000 ringgit per kilogram. Sanifa also said that the MMEA believes the boat was heading to international waters to smuggle the drugs, as the area was a hotspot for smuggling activities, including human trafficking. He said that the total value of the seized items is 256,500 ringgit, including the 19-foot longboat and the 40-horsepower engine. Still to come, a palm oil price to strengthen following India's resumption of imports. Stay with us. The Malaysian Trade Union Congress MTUC said that the Malaysian Employers Federation's MEF warning that the country could see about 2 million retrenchments after Aidilfitri celebration is to pressure the government into dishing out more concessions and financial assistance to the business community. MTUC Secretary General J. Solomon said MEF's warning is a blatant attempt by employers to shy away from their responsibility in helping the government to ensure unemployment is kept to a minimum. Solomon, in a release statement today, said MEF members who are laying off workers and making threats to retrench even more employees after Hari Raya are committing an uncontentious and dishonourable act. He also said MEF regrets that it was issued just one day after the Yang di-Pertuan Agong had urged employers to do all they can to keep workers in their jobs, as all quarters need to sacrifice and do their part in helping Malaysia recover from the COVID-19 crisis. Solomon added that MTUC is against any attempt to force workers into taking pay cuts and reducing their work hours, as it would affect their livelihood, especially in the present situation. He also said that MEF's demands that employers be allowed to lower the EPF contributions from 11% to 5% and for new laws to be enacted to reduce their overheads is a blatant attempt to profit from the COVID-19 pandemic and most inhumane. The MTUC Secretary General further urged the government to take swift action and not be bullied into giving more concessions, as it will only increase the sufferings of workers. The Ministry of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, MEDEC, and its agencies will be accelerating the relief application process and procedures to small and medium enterprises, SMEs, micro and cooperatives affected by COVID-19. Its Minister, Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, said the initiative included simplifying the application process and improving the funding approvals procedure aimed at strengthening SMEs in the country. In a statement today, the minister said this improvement initiative demonstrates that MEDEC and its agencies are aware of the current needs and will help entrepreneurs affected by COVID-19. The initiative involved the application for Tekun Nasional COVID Business Recovery Financing Scheme, CBRM, which currently requires only 4 supporting documents as compared to the previous 17 documents, namely copies of company registration certificates or business licenses, copies of identity cards, copies of bank statements, and copies of utility bills. The SME Bank Special Relief Facility (SRF) application process has also been shortened to 5 days from 30 days. In addition, the financing scheme for franchisor, pre-franchise and franchise by Perbadanan Nasional Berhad also saw the application process shortened to 10 days, while Tekun Nasional's application for full withdrawal of entrepreneurs' savings was also shortened to 2 days instead of 7 days. Palm oil prices in the market are expected to strengthen following India's move to resume importing Malaysian palm oil. Minister of Plantation Industries and Commodities, Dato' Dr. Muhammad Khairuddin Aman Razali, said the Malaysian government is committed to maintaining good relations as well with the Indian government to further enhance diplomatic and trade relations between the two countries. In a statement, the minister said diplomatic relations has improved with contracts for palm oil purchases for June and July 2020, and this is expected to have a positive impact on the nation's oil palm industry as well as the economy. The nation's oil palm industry provides incomes for close to 500,000 smallholders, including around 258,000 independent smallholders. India is one of Malaysia's most important trading partners in the agricultural sector. In 2019, the country imported 4.5 million tons of palm oil and palm oil-based products worth 9.8 billion ringgit. According to the Malaysian Palm Oil Board's data, Malaysia's palm oil export to India between January and April 2020 plummeted by 94% to 96,145 tons, compared to 1.6 million tons in the same period last year. The Federal Agricultural Marketing Authority, FAMA, today distributed 5 tons of vegetables and fruits to 10 central kitchen locations under the Social Welfare Department. Agriculture and Food Industry Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ronald Kiandi said the food supply contribution would benefit 1,357 individuals. He said FAMA had carried out 43 CSR initiatives nationwide throughout the movement control order period in which contributions were distributed to welfare homes, association and as well as frontliners.
Agensi di bawah Kementerian Pertanian dan Industri Makanan ini ia akan dapat dimanfaatkan kepada Central Kitchen yang akan dimanfaatkan oleh lebih kurang 1,400 individu. Sebenarnya program hari ini merupakan sebahagian dari program. FAMA juga menghantar bantuan makanan kepada rakyat Malaysia yang terkandas di Singapura dan program yang sama-sama dilibatkan oleh FAMA di bawah kementerian sepanjang tempoh PKP yang melanda.
He said this to reporters after launching the Central Kitchen program in Putrajaya. Just 3 days after restructuring the coaching setup for the senior badminton team, Association BAM President Datuk Seri Norza Zakaria announced another coaching shake-up, this time for the junior squad. The junior shuttlers are currently undergoing training at the Academy Badminton Malaysia ABM in Bukit Kiara under Youth Development Director Datuk Mismun Sidek. Former national singles coaches Hazwan Jamaluddin and Poh Chai Boon have been put in charge of the under-18 singles department, while the doubles players will be managed by 3 doubles specialists, Pang Che Chang, Vontus Indramawan and Lufti Zaim. Former All-England winner Hafiz Hashim, together with Alvin Chu, will be tasked with coaching the under-15 boys. Kwan Yok Meng, a member of the 1992 Thomas Cup winning squad, has been given a new portfolio and will head the development of the under-13 girls department, while experienced coach Zhang Hong Yu will oversee the under-15 and under-14 girls. Datuk Seri Norza, in a release statement on Wednesday, said he's confident that the coaches, with guidance from Datuk Misbun, would able to instill a high level of discipline and a winning culture among the players at a young age, as well as assist in their transition into the senior national team. That concludes News on 2 this evening. In our top story, no more warnings compounds for those attempting interstate travel. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. To our Muslim friends, selamat berbuka puasa. I'm Brennan Lepal. Thanks for watching.